So first off, I just want to tell you a little bit about the VARC model. So that's visual learning, auditory learning, reading slash writing learning, and kinesthetic learning. And today, these are the four different learning styles that most people will conform to. So first off, what's your preferred learning style, and when did you realize that this was your preferred learning style?
I realized that my preferred learning style was kinesthetics when I was in elementary school, and just while we were in class, it would be really hard for the teachers who were teaching in like a audio and visual type of sense. It was really hard for them to or for me to get involved in what they were teaching.
Yeah.
And so whenever we had hands-on projects, I totally felt like I understood all of the information and the entire point of the course, and so that.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense too, because studies show that the best time to teach kids or to teach students different learning styles and how to embrace them and study skills and learning skills is at a young age, so that way they're able to refine them until they get older and they're actually needing them for when they go to high school and college.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to my next questions. What other experiences have you had in your adolescent education that led to you discovering this learning style?
Well, in elementary school, all the teachers mostly teach the same way since you only have one teacher, and most of it is audio and visual, just teaching, showing pictures up on the board and describing the pictures, and therefore. But in middle school and high school, when we started we started dividing and going to different teachers per each subject, it was a lot better because I got to see a lot of different teaching styles from the teachers, and I recognized that in some classes I was able to just naturally understand the information a lot more, and those were the classes that had a mix of all three styles, and so the audio, visual, and kinesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really good, and so I've realized that more so I need a combination of all three.
Yeah.
To fully understand.
Yeah, and so I'm sure that with coming to that understanding of your own education, that you've probably had a lot of strugglings due to teachers teaching a learning style that you have trouble understanding or that you aren't really able to grasp as well as the others. Can you tell me about some of those stories?
Like I was saying before, in elementary school, sometimes it would be hard for me, if I was ever feeling distracted, to regain my attention back into my teacher, since I was just, since it was so easy to doze off, while she was just doing her own thing up there, and I wasn't initially being engaged, individually being engaged. And so that was kind of a little hard, but it was really helpful when I would go home and I would explain to my parents these, just that I wasn't really understanding the information. And so my dad, he would go through with me and he would have me write down what we were learning and then draw pictures to, having me draw pictures to help explain it to me. And then that was really useful, and so that's how I learned that I'm a combination of all three, and I need to have that hands-on experience.
And that really, that hits the nail right on the head just for most students, especially with one of the studies that I read that I listed in my annotated bibliography, where they actually use a technique called group teaching, where they'll have a group of 4 or 5 teachers cycle through a classroom of elementary school students for the day in order to show them different learning styles and different teaching styles at a younger age, so that way they aren't shocked when they get to middle school or high school when they have multiple teachers. And the studies showed to much higher standardized testing scores for the elementary school students, and it'd be hard to do so though for the higher level not higher level, but older students, just because they already have different class periods rather than block times. But that leads to my last question, which is, do you believe that embracing the different learning styles leads to a better student, or do you think that needing to know your specific learning style is what will help you to success?
Definitely embracing all three of the learning styles, so then you can learn in any environment. But knowing your specific learning style is also really helpful, because if you aren't getting that in like a learning environment, you can on your own time you can figure out how to feed into that learning style, whether it's like watching YouTube videos or seeking out like additional help from your teacher and having them explain it in like a different sense, or even checking out books from the library.
Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, those are all the questions I have for you, so I appreciate it.